Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And JT.
Coming up on today's episode, we get comfy with our Fab Five places to chill in a Disney park. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
JT Chill Pill Landry.
I'm not living up to that name lately, but thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a suggestion.
It's a suggestion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a guideline.
Yeah.
Patrick, who's the cute boy in the white jacket with the thick accent? Kazuki.
What? I have no idea what that is.
I knew you wouldn't, and so I knew this was going to be a teaching moment.
Okay, great. Is it Taylor Swift again?
It is not. It is not. I'm not
what a
that.
Change.
I'm not that predictable, and also it's a teaching moment, and I know that some of our Tweedles out there instantly got that reference. No, that is a lyric from a song called "Bed Chem."
Okay.
Which is bed chemistry, exactly what you think it is, by Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh,
excuse me, former Disney Channel star, now pop diva, Sabrina Carpenter. You are really overcome by this news.
You reached way past my knowledge of anything that has to do with that whole generation. It really missed me.
Well, I mean, to be fair, her Disney Channel tenure missed me too.
No, yeah, fair.
But
it's just funny, like your knowledge of Disney Channel runs the gamut of Avonlea and Sabrina Carpenter. Mine ends at like Avonlea and The Party. Maybe when I stopped watching.
The Party. Oh, rest in peace, The Party. But no. The only reason I know that she was a Disney Channel star. She was. Yeah. I mean, you were part of the Boy Meets World.
Of course, yes.
So she was in the Girl Meets World sequel series that was on the Disney. She was the lead of that.
Oh, Topanga was not the lead of Girl Meets World, or she played Topanga's relative or something, or was it a whole new? I didn't even watch that show, so I don't know.
She
much
was.
About it.
How do I? It's like, how do I explain this?
That's fair. You know what? We don't need to go too into in depth unless we need a full episode about.
Now, so now it ran for 3 seasons, just so you know.
That's a lot. That's a lot of seasons for a show that wasn't wildly popular, Girl Meets World.
Yeah. No, so it's not, so the way it is like Corey from Boy Meets World.
I do.
Okay. Ben Savage.
Yes.
Corey is the history teacher.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought Girl Meets World was more about Topanga and her family or something.
Well, I mean, Topanga is in it.
Oh, she is. Okay.
She is in it.
How many times can we say Topanga on one episode? I think we should go for the world record.
and you are correct. I mean, Sabrina is Sabrina's not their daughter. There's another actress that plays their daughter. Sabrina plays a friend, the best friend of the daughter. That's where you're getting that. That's where it's like Sabrina's not the daughter.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So Corey and Topanga live in New York. The series is about their daughter. Sabrina plays the best friend.
Got it. Okay.
It ran for 3 seasons. In from like 2014, according to I don't know what years it ran, but according to Wikipedia, it ran from 2014 to 2017.
Oh, for some reason in my head, it came out more recent than that. But you know what? I shall sleep easy tonight, knowing all of this information now. So thank you for the history lesson.
Are so welcome. And I mean, truly, if you like some good pop music, the new Sabrina Carpenter album is a no skips pop album. It's really fantastic.
Fascinating. Okay. I will file that away to maybe.
I feel like you're filing that deep into the file cabinet.
Yeah, it may not make it even to the file cabinet. It may.
I feel like it's in cold storage.
Yeah, it's deep in the meat locker right now.
You realize we're going to get feedback this week about Sabrina Carpenter from Tweedles.
I hope so. We haven't had feedback in a while, and so if anything's going to spark their interest, it's going to be Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my goodness. So how are you? How are you, my friend? What's going on? What's new? How's the JT?
Well, it's really timely, Patrick, that we're doing this episode.
Okay.
On places to chill the F out because
sure.
I don't think ever in my life have I needed 5 places to go chill the F out than I do in this moment.
Okay.
Just between, I've had work travel going on.
Right.
And work has been incredibly intense lately. I have had our choir came back from summer hiatus recently, and so that's been going on. I am in the final weeks of rehearsal for a play. And then I moved last weekend. I picked up my life and moved all my worldly possessions into a new apartment in Nashville. So it has been
fair,
a little crazy, but we're talking about really great places to relax and chill. And so I feel like this is going to be a good Zen moment for me today. Good. I can already feel the Zen. Talking to you, Patrick, you make me feel a little Zen. In fact, I have some listener feedback.
Oh my stars. Okay.
So on the last episode, when it was such a sweet and lovely, and I will get to how you are in just a minute.
No one needs to know.
I haven't forgotten. No, but the quick D question from last episode about the favorite things about the co-hosts.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I was like, that made me feel like, honestly, like listening to that episode as a listener, like I made my day.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
And it's so true. Like you don't really think about yourself in some ways, and you don't really realize how other people perceive you. And some of the things that like you wouldn't normally think about yourself and other people perceive you that way. It's like, it's very healthy.
Well, good.
To look at yourself through other people's eyes, as long as it's like a good thing, I guess.
Yes. We all know where to put the other feedback. Put it deep in cold storage.
No, but what I was going to say, I was like, just really quick, I would love to hit on the things that I love most about the three of you.
Oh my goodness, sure.
And the first thing, I'll just start with you, and it's like you do have a tendency. You have a very like just calming, like Zen effect, and I always it's like you kind of, I don't know, you always kind of like, you have a way of like making people just kind of like take a breath and like calm down around you, because you are so like level-headed and even-keeled. And I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's always it's a peaceful moment around you.
Well, that's nice to hear. It's chaos inside, so I'm glad to hear that what's coming out is calming, because it's a real mess. It's a real mess in there.
No matter how the sausage is made, it's coming out beautifully on the outside.
Oh, thank you so much. I've heard that so many times before.
Oh gosh. And then I would just say, Ryan, I think I agree with some of the things that you were saying about Ryan last week, and just he's so like and maybe I'm getting this, maybe I'm misremembering last week, it was like 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. But just around he's just so open, and he's kind of fearless in a way. You know, and isn't afraid to let his feelings show, not afraid to try new things, not afraid to like make big moves. No matter whether, you know, and you know, you always, any big move is like a risk, but he understands that, but is still not afraid to take the risk.
Right. True.
Right. And wear his heart on his sleeve. And I really appreciate that.
That part.
And then, and then Kale, I would just say, Kale is so funny. I can't remember if it was you that said that or Ryan said that.
Everyone says it.
Well, everyone says it, but Kale is genuinely, truly one of the funniest people that I know, and never fails to make me laugh. So, and is one of the sweetest and kindest, and will just listen to you if you need to just like vent or, whatever.
Or whatever. That's Kale right there. Or whatever.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I just had to say, but Patrick.
Yes.
That's my listener feedback. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm good. Thank you for asking. We're 10, 15, 20 minutes into the episode so far, and we have spoken nothing about Disney so far. So I'll keep it short and sweet.
What else?
Yeah, exactly. I'm good. Things are good. It's fall. My powers are growing. This is my season. I'm in it. I love the fall. It's my favorite time of year. So this shift in the winds is my time to shine. I feel like I'm feeling it. So thank you so much for asking. Well, speaking of Kale, by the way, going back to Kale, we have to wish Kale a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We don't have the money to pay for the whole song, so we're going to end it right
Wait,
there.
is that not in the? It's not in public domain, is it?
I don't think so. I think it's one of the more expensive songs. That's
gosh.
why you almost never hear it ever sung out loud in full in movies and TV shows. Anyway.
Well, many happy returns, Kale.
Yes, but please come back over and over again, and then go away sometimes.
How old is Kale?
So you can return. 21.
Are we saying 21?
21 years old. Mm-hmm.
This is the what anniversary of his 21st year?
I cannot confirm or deny anything when it comes to age of any of the podcasters on this show.
We don't talk about that.
But we love you, Kale. Happy birthday. All you Tweedles out there, send him all the birthday love you can muster. Not that he'll need it, but I'm sure he'll love it.
And he's been celebrating his birthday in style on a Disney cruise.
It's true, yes. He's been on a cruise for the last week and a half. So, yes, many happy returns from the cruise as well.
Yeah.
Well, turning the corner just a little bit, JT, just ever so slightly from a birthday, we do have some sad news to report. It actually happened a week and a half before this episode will even air, but the world, and us included, did say goodbye to the great, the wonderful, the amazing, the list goes on with superlatives, one of my favorite humans in the whole world, James Earl Jones, who passed away in his home on September 9th at the age of 93. I didn't realize 93 years old. Well done, sir.
I know. I knew he had to be up there, but I didn't realize that he was way up there.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like I said, 93 years old, born in 1931 in Mississippi. He was an actor. He's a military vet, a humanitarian, one of the very few members of the EGOT Club. I mean, just wonderful person, a pioneer in performance in general, but specifically for black actors on stage and screen. He not only just opened doors, he kicked them down, and he broadened barriers and became one of the most recognizable faces and voices in the world. He will be missed. His legacy will live on for years and years and years to come. If you want to go back in time with GDTD, we pay tribute actually to James Earl Jones on episode 73, if you can imagine, way back in 2020, with our very first episode on the DL Disney Legends episode. We give a quite extensive tribute to James Earl Jones.
Patrick, can you name the what he got his EGOT awards for?
Oh gosh, I can't. I'm sure that you can.
I cannot.
I will not.
I actually cannot.
Okay.
No.
Oh, wow.
I was asking if you could.
No, there's no way. I should have written it down, but I mean, probably I'm guessing he's got it over and over again. Actually, if I was a betting man, he probably has more than one EGOTs.
I do believe his Oscar is an honorary Oscar. I think. I don't think he ever actually won a competitive.
That surprises me.
Oscar. Yeah.
That surprises me. Well, Mr. James Earl Jones, we raise a glass to you.
Yes.
You left such a legacy that will likely never be matched ever again. So, well, I'm glad to have been part of a generation that knew who this man was.
May the force be with you.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
and
indeed.
Jimmy Choo.
What? What on earth is that from? I feel like
Jimmy Choo.
Okay, you said it again. I still don't know what it is. What are you talking about?
It's from his guest starring appearance on Will and Grace.
Got you. Okay.
When Jack was trying to teach him how to be a better actor.
Yes, his most well-known performance in Will and Grace. Oh, my stars. Oh, my
goodness.
stars.
May the
All right,
force
well,
be with him.
may-
Anyway.
Indeed. And with us. So let's turn the page yet again, JT.
Oh,
and
from
head into-
births to deaths to what's next.
Well, let's go into I'm Celebrating, JT. What do you
Okay.
say?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Wait, Patrick, one quick question.
Of course.
Because this week, Agatha All Along debuted. Have you been watching? Are you watching Agatha All Along?
Boy, am I. Boy,
Okay.
am I. What a show. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. I was traveling
okay.
for work this week,
All right.
so it is my weekend treat. But I just wanted to check in and see.
Yes, I have. We'll put a pin in it so I won't. No
Okay.
spoilers for you at all, but I will say this is the show I've been waiting for a very long time. Yeah.
Oh,
I am
okay.
overly pleased
Oh.
of this show. Yeah. So
Oh my.
I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay. Well,
All right.
all right.
Well, why don't you kick us off into I'm Celebrating, since you brought up Agatha All Along, our very first celebration.
Okay. Well, at Silent Tommy is celebrating Agatha All Along.
It's like he knew we were going to talk about it right before.
For real.
Amazing. I too am celebrating Agatha All Along.
And he's not being silent.
He's not. He will not be silent about it.
No.
Don't ever. Moving on, we have at KDevo11 celebrating our first stay at the Disney resorts as a family of 3, staying at the Boardwalk. Ooh, Boardwalk is one of my favorites. One of my favorite places in Disney. And I'm so glad. The family of 3 in Disney. I wish I was there to see it.
It's so fun to walk around the boardwalk.
It's the best. It's one of the best.
It is. At John_Whalen, seeing Kale on the Disney Fantasy, #gay in the wild. What?
That is so funny. So John Whalen is a performer on the Disney Fantasy I believe,
Okay.
right now, and so I imagine they ran into each other, which I didn't put 2 and 2 together that they would be on the same ship at the same time. Very cool. We'll have to hear all about it when Kale comes back next week.
What does he perform? Do you know?
I think he's in Frozen. I believe he's in the Frozen show. On
Okay,
Disney
I
Fantasy.
did see that they went to Frozen the other night. So that must be.
I'm sure they saw each other there. Very cool. Very
Okay,
cool.
all right.
Moving on, we have at Kim Chi celebrating my eyeliner was eyelining today.
All right.
Congratulations.
Face beat.
Yeah, you need to send us pictures. If your eyeliner is eyelining, send us some photos. We will post them on, if you want us to, on,
of
on
course.
GDTD.
Only if you want us to.
Yes.
At Traveling Theater Nerd, the start of spooky season and scare acting at a local haunt.
Ooh, fun.
You know what's so fun? That is like a thing nowadays. Like with all the haunted houses and haunted corn mazes. Do y'all have corn mazes in Minnesota?
We have like a corn maze on every corner in Minnesota
okay.
during the fall. Yes.
No, I was in Central Illinois where there is also a lot of corn this week.
Yes.
And somebody that at this client dinner was talking about how they and their son, it's like an annual tradition for them to dress up and be character actors at a haunted house.
I love that.
And I was like, that's such a fun like tradition. but okay, so what are you acting? What's the local haunt? Is it themed?
Yeah.
Are you jump scaring people? Are you touching people appropriately and with consent?
Yes.
Are you tell us.
I need to know.
Yeah, I need to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We have at Paging Mr. Olive celebrating going to Vegas next week for work. Boo. But then Drag Race Live. Yay.
Ooh, woohoo.
What a great show. I hope you had so much fun. Let me know who was performing and what your experience was. I've seen it twice now and I really love it. Really love it.
I've always wanted to go.
It's so good.
It's all I've ever wanted in life. At Kenny Cafe, just got to Disney with my bestie. Nothing like a trip to Disney with your bestie. And I've been keeping up with Kenny and his bestie on the Insta, and they look like they're having a really good time.
Yeah, they always do that. Kenny
Always
Cafe.
do.
Always. We have at Ronnie Boy 1. I love that. Ronnie Boy 1. It's so great. Celebrating a break from busy work season. Yes, take your breaks, my friend. Take your breaks. Take care of you. I love that. Celebrate that.
Yes, I need that too. And finally, last but never least, at Stevachu. Celebrating my best friend Achu's booking an insane dream job Achu.
Ooh, what was that dream job? Let us know.
Yeah, and just to clarify, Steve Achu did not add those extra Achus. We did.
Never does.
Because he's normal. We're not.
Well, remains to be seen. We can't confirm or deny anything here.
Well,
on the
that's
podcast.
true. That's true.
Right. That's right. Well, thank you everybody for sending in your celebrations.
Yes.
What an eclectic mix. I love seeing it. Eyelining and babies at Disney.
Oh my gosh.
Dream jobs, cruises. Well done, everybody.
Boardwalks, witches.
Amazing.
Patrick, what are you
Witch
celebrating?
bees. What am I celebrating? I think, like I said in the beginning, I'm just celebrating the fall season is finally upon us. I just love it. I think of family and friends when I think of fall and gatherings. And so that's why I love it so much, I think. What about you?
Do you think of enemies in the summer and winter?
I
Okay.
I do. I really do. Truly.
I am celebrating being in a new apartment.
Yes.
Yeah, and my play opens next Friday. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Don't call for lines.
Never.
And I mean that about this podcast. Don't do it.
Never.
Your script is in front of you. Well, you can call for a line here because we're moving into This Week in Disney History with some hints if you need them. Are you ready, JT?
My pencil is up.
Great. That's not a pencil. All right. 104 years ago, JT, on September 23rd, 1920, this actor was born in Brooklyn, New York. For Disney, he made cameos in 2011's The Muppets and 1997's Flubber. He voiced Sparky in 2001's Lady and the Tramp Part 2, and in 1981, he voiced adult Todd in The Fox and the Hound. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Born in 1920?
Born in 1920.
Oh, man.
Do you need another hint?
Yeah, give me another hint if you have it.
You likely would have seen him in many vehicles with the great Judy Garland.
Is it born in 1920? Is it Mickey Rooney?
It is the one and only Mickey Rooney. Also known as his real name, his government name, Joseph Ewell Jr.
Excuse me?
Correct.
Did you just government name Mickey Rooney?
I sure did. I sure did. Fun fact, Mickey Rooney, I did not know this, voiced Oswald the Lucky Rabbit for Universal.
No way.
Yeah.
Mickey Rooney was a cutie back in the day.
He was a little cutie pie, wasn't he?
He was. He really was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was indeed. He was in one of my favorite musicals, Babes in Arms, as well. I love that musical so much.
That's a great musical.
A classic.
Very much a classic.
Indeed. All right. Are you ready for your next one?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. 14 years ago, JT, on September 24th, 2010, this Touchstone Pictures movie was released, starring Kristen Bell, Jamie Lee Curtis, Sigourney Weaver, Odette Annabelle, Betty White, Kristen Chenoweth, and Victor Garber. Do you know this movie yet?
Oh my God, that's a gay Fantasia. 2010?
2010.
Not yet.
Well, here is the synopsis of the movie.
Okay.
When a young woman realizes her brother is about to marry the girl who bullied her in high school, she sets out to expose the fiancé's true colors. Do you know the movie based on that description?
No, I don't. This is what I can't. I'm like racking my brain. I don't know.
The movie is entitled You Again.
I've never seen this movie.
Fair enough. I had a feeling you wouldn't, and so I was like, let me throw JT up with this one. You Again. But a fun fact about this movie, this was the very last Touchstone Pictures film to be released without a partnership. So all other Touchstone movies after this would be made in association with Miramax or DreamWorks or Lucasfilm until Touchstone closed down finally in 2016.
Oh my God. I mean, with that cast, I feel like I should go seek the movie out.
Right? Absolutely. Like an all-star cast for sure.
Come on.
Yeah, but it did not do well.
That's
Wow. What are you gonna do? We need to do a deep dive one of these days into like just like the history of Touchstone and all of the movies that came out of it.
You bet.
Just
yes,
a wild eclectic, just collection of movies. It's very strange.
It is truly wild. Like starting with the very first one, which was, I believe, Splash.
I think was Splash under Touchstone. Is that what it was?
I feel like Splash was like the first Touchstone movie, or one of the first at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Touchstone's history is truly insane.
It's really interesting. It was a smart decision for sure, and a lot of really great movies came out of it.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. A lot of real clunkers came out of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was this week in Disney history. JT, speaking of clunkers, are you ready to go into the news?
Oh, and we have a couple clunkers. Actually, no, we just have one clunker today.
A big one.
Yeah. Patrick, are you ready for some piping hot tea?
You know what? Whether I am or not is despite the fact that it's going to happen.
I'm giving it to you whether you want it or not.
Great.
Just when you think we were done talking about Bob Chapek, we're not done talking about Bob Chapek. Because, and this goes back to a broader story. Patrick, have you read the New York Times story that came out a couple weeks ago? It's a very in-depth article. It's written by James Stewart, the guy who wrote Disney War. If any of our tweetles have never read Disney War and you are interested in how the sausage is made, and just warning, like you might get some of the magic ruined and it could color your opinions of things, but
sure,
it's a fascinating behind the scenes if you're into like the business side of Disney. Well, this article came out in the New York Times called "The Palace Coup at the Magic Kingdom." It's the inside story of how Bob Iger undermined and outmaneuvered Bob Chapek, his chosen successor, and returned to power at Disney. New York Times words, not mine. This is a very long, in-depth article.
Read the whole thing.
Read the whole thing. We're not going to do it for you today. But it's kind of a sequel to Disney War in a way. And I feel like he's probably eventually going to turn a lot of this content into like a sequel. But for our purposes today, one of the big things that came out of this is, so allegedly, according to this article, Chapek was at some point considering legal action against Disney, but elected to not go down that route because his family is a, quote, Disney family, unquote, and he didn't want to hurt the company. According to the story, after Bob Chapek was fired, he hired a gentleman named Brian Friedman, who advised him that he had a very strong claim, because according to how Chapek sees the story, Iger was interfering with his ability to do his job. And a lot of people, if you read the story and you listen to some podcasts about this, a lot of people think that Chapek was kind of set up to fail from the beginning, whether that was anybody's intention or not. He was kind of handed, a little bit of a rotten apple. But he ultimately elected to not seek legal action again because his family is a Disney family and he didn't want to hurt the company. This is fascinating. And I believe this comes from the New York Times article as well. Do you know when Bob Chapek was told that he was no longer CEO?
Oh, he was like, wasn't he like at a Disney park or something? Or he was out and about. I can't remember. I believe he was getting, I think he was getting ready to go to the Elton John concert that was like on Disney Plus. That's what it was. Yeah.
That is wild to me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine like on your way to an Elton John concert and you find out that you are no longer the CEO of...
Right. It was like a phone call. It was like, don't come into work on Monday. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, great.
But I just think it's interesting. I think this whole New York Times article is interesting. It is a long read, but it is a fascinating read, especially if you get into kind of this kind of stuff. And they talk to a lot of sources, and it's just so interesting to me.
There's a lot in there for sure, and it doesn't really paint either of the Bobs in a great light.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, and no one is perfect. And,
No.
even as much as, we do, I mean, I like Bob Iger. He's done a lot of amazing things for the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, of course.
I do feel like the whole succession planning is something that he has completely and utterly botched. And still seems to be kind of doing not a great job with, because his contract is now through the end of 2026, right?
I think so, yeah.
It looks, there's actually another podcast I would recommend to our Tweedles if you want to learn a little bit more about succession planning, because they talk about there's a podcast called The Town, and they did an episode kind of about this New York Times article, and they talked about kind of who they feel are like the 3 finalists right now for the CEO job, and they're all kind of jockeying for this right now.
Yeah.
One of them is Daddy Tomorrow.
Of course.
He's got my vote. But anyway, that's an interesting thing to listen to too. But it feels like he's not doing a great job right now either. I don't know if he's having a hard time like letting go of the reins, and I don't know. But anyway, it's a fascinating article. Go read it.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, the drama continues. Well, it also continues into my story as well, JT, if you're ready. So it seems that many Tweedles and Disney fans aren't the only ones concerned with Disney's plan to replace Tom Sawyer Island and the rivers of America with a Cars-themed land. The South Florida Water Management District has thrown a wrench in the engine, if you will, with a 6-page letter pointing out issues with Disney's original permit application for this new land. So in the letter, the state of Florida is asking Disney to make 20 adjustments to the application. Among the requested adjustments are confirmation of the actual areas for activities proposed in the application, clarity on how the plans will impact the wetland environment in the area, including effects on wildlife, fish, and bald eagles, and they ask that Disney provide information on proposed dewatering operations that may be performed during construction. Now, again, these are just some of the conditions that need to be made before the application can be completed. The request was, I believe, submitted on September 16th, and Disney would then have 90 days to file their response, or the application would be denied. They do, however, have the option to extend that deadline if needed. And then if approved, the construction process for this new land would begin in early 2025 or so, Disney thinks. So... what is going on here?
Classic South Florida Water Management District behavior.
I mean, if I had $1 for every time they shut something down, but it just seems like the whole world is telling Disney not to do this.
I mean,
it's
fair.
It's wild.
Yeah. I also have a question, though.
Sure.
What bald eagles, wildlife, and fish are in the rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island? That's what I want to know.
I mean, there are, I think it's just a question that they have to ask when you are sort of deforesting an area, because it is a lot of natural trees, and there are actual fish in that water, and there are actual wildlife that would be impacted. And so regardless of how many, they just need to know exactly what lives there and will they be impacted, because if they are chopping down a tree, say that a bald eagle has a nest in, they can't do it legally. So
I feel like we're safe leaving the bald eagles out of the conversation. I have been to Disney many times, and I have never seen the only bald eagle I have seen is Sam the Eagle in the window in Liberty Square.
Well, and they already got rid of him, so
well, see,
I think we're fine.
Did the South Florida Water Management District approve that?
The world will never know. JT, I have to say, you kind of perfectly articulated the reason we're doing this episode today at the beginning of the episode. With all the things that are happening in life right now, the whole world is busy. Ryan and I had a little discussion about it in our last episode, about how, you know what, we're all busy. We need a new word for busy. We're busy. Like we're active. We're doing things.
Yes.
And so we're productive. There we go. So I felt like it would be a fun time to take a look at some relaxation spots within Disney. As we know, life gets busy, but even when you're at a Disney park, things get a little overwhelming sometimes.
Yes.
We're all about promoting self-care, and every once in a while, you just need 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, to just sit down, relax, put your feet up maybe, have a sip, watch the world go by, and just like regain what your purpose is for that day, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like there's actually many spots within Disney where you can do that, but a lot of people don't know about them. A lot of people, they're just sort of like caught up in the hustle and bustle and don't realize there are so many beautiful spots to just sit down and take a beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I had to narrow my list down.
Good. I love that. That means that there are extras to talk about. We have another episode maybe ahead of us about it. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel counterintuitive. Like, right? You think like there's no, relief, but there is if you look for it.
Is taking a break at Disney something that is built into your itinerary now? Is it something that's new to you, or do you even do it much anymore? And you sort of like maybe find it accidentally?
I think since I started going, as I would say, it depends on the trip, the kind of trip, and like the vibe of it. But I would say since I started going as an adult, I've tried to always make that a part of my trip.
Good.
Even if I'm going, because you do the same thing, don't you?
I actually, yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily plan it out, but I know where I like to sit down. You know what I mean? Like I make sure that like, hey, you know what? My feet are kind of tired. I'm going to advocate for myself and say, there's a spot over here. I know. Let's go sit down,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, even if I'm with like friends or something on a trip, like I'll try to like just carve out some time where it's like, hey, I'm going to go off. I'll meet up with you later. I'm just going to go do this right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Well, that all being said, we've got a Fab Five list for you, our Tweedles out there, of chill spots in the Disney parks. JT, do you want to go first, or do you want me to lay my chill spot down first?
Why don't you lay your chill? You go first, Patrick.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. How generous.
Gentlemen first.
Oh, thank you. All right. Are yours in order of like favorite is number 1, and we're going to start with number 5? Like, how are you going to do yours?
No, mine aren't in any kind of order.
Great.
Are yours?
I think I'll save like my favorite one for last, but
okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? I'll save my top for, because I do have a top, but I'll save that one for very last. Yeah.
Okay, great. All the other ones are equal in love, and the last one will be our favorite one. Okay,
perfect. Okay.
All right. I'm going to start with a new favorite place of mine to have a little respite, and that is in the Port Orleans Riverside area. There is a little back porch as you exit the main building, so you're heading towards where all the room blocks are. There's the most adorable porch that you've ever seen in your entire life. It's got wooden rocking chairs. It's overlooking the river and the docks. It's just a super peaceful, tranquil spot within Port Orleans Riverside Resort. Like it's one of those spots, like if I knew how to knit, I would sit there for hours just knitting blankets and scarves for all my friends. It's so perfect. It kind of reminds me of the porch in what's the Living with the Land? The little house and the porch and the dog. It reminds me of that. It's just so you'll see people walking by and a morning jog, biking, fishing, playing checkers. It's so incredible. I mean,
Aunt Eller's churning butter.
Exactly. Go get some fresh beignets at the French Quarter, and then you've got yourself a perfect morning. It's just a really lovely way to start your day if you're staying at the Port Orleans Riverside, or just head on. I love resort hopping and just looking at different resorts, and it's so peaceful. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite places.
I think you should take up knitting.
I think so too. I used to know how to knit a lot. My mother was an Olympic knitter. Like she was knitting all the time, and she taught me how to knit. And I might remember how to do it if I picked it up, but no, I'm not a knitter anymore.
Knit one, purl two.
I mean, that's basically all you need to know. All right. What about you? What's first on your list?
Okay, first on my list is going over to Coronado Springs and grabbing yourself a little bevy if you want. You don't have to.
Right.
And then taking a little walk around Lago Dorado. That's the lake.
It is.
Lago is Spanish for lake.
Thank you so much.
I have found, like, I've done that a couple times, and I kind of did this by accident the first time. And when I was staying there, the first time I ever stayed there, and it was kind of in the middle of the afternoon, and so a lot of people were at the parks, and it was very quiet. And it was just kind of a nice leisurely stroll around the lake, and you end up walking through some of the different themed like areas, and it's just a nice little peaceful walk. You can get your steps in for the day.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's usually pretty quiet.
It's very quiet. It's eerily quiet around that lake. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you're on a walking respite. I love that.
Yeah. You might as well get some steps in too.
Absolutely, because you don't get enough when walking.
Well, right. Yeah.
It's just a lazy vacation, really.
Yeah. But I've put in like AirPods and like listen to a podcast or like listen to music or just listen to the sound of your own chaotic thoughts.
Yes.
Whatever.
That would be me.
No, don't do that, because then that doesn't make it chill. So
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. It is a nice little jog as well if you're an early morning jogger. If you're staying there, just because it's not too far, you just wash away the evening and get your steps in, get your jog in. And it's cute. It's very tranquil as well.
It is. Yeah.
I like it. Well done. All right. Well, I am going to move us over to Disneyland, JT.
Okay.
And I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with the new San Francisco area in DCA.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite. I am the ambiance there is so great, but it's got everything there. It's got, first of all, tons and tons of seating, which Disney, I think, is finally listening to people going, can you just give us a place to sit every once in a while? That'd be great. Disneyland is actually doing really well with that, specifically DCA, and specifically the San Francisco area. It's got any kind of food that you could think of, drinks, shopping, music, sometimes live music, tons and tons of seating, as I said. The aesthetic is so delightful with the Big Hero 6 theme. I'm obsessed with Big Hero 6. It's one of my favorite movies. I'll say, though, it's not necessarily relaxing, but it is a place, because it's a busy little area, like a marketplace kind of, but it is, there's always a place to sit down. You can always find a table to sit down, have a bite, have a chat, regroup with your friends, and just get off your feet. I really implore you to go check out that area and just take some time, have a lunch there, relax, get off your feet. I love it. I think it's a nice place to go.
I love that. I have not seen the San Francisco area yet.
So cute.
But it's something to look forward to.
Yes it is. Yes, it is indeed.
Is this a safe place?
Sometimes it depends on what you're going to say.
I have never seen Big Hero 6.
This is no longer a safe space.
Okay. I was afraid of that.
Well, you know what? That's your own fault. I'm not going to be mad at you.
No, it's true.
You should be mad at yourself, JT.
No, I made that bed. I will lie in it.
You can unmake it, though, and just simply watch it if you want
to. I'd rather do that.
Fair.
Well, my next one, Patrick, is similar into yours in that it's not necessarily a quiet place. Like it is a busy place, but it is like a lovely place to go and just kind of hang out and sit. And there are times of the day probably where it's a little less, busy, but that is New Orleans Square. In Disneyland, also in Disneyland. And I mean, yes, it can be a very busy area, especially the later it gets in the day.
Sure.
But, it's like, it's one of those, if you just want kind of, it's like, I love just like, if you can find a little table or a little seat, and it's just so beautiful with the oak trees.
Yeah.
And it's right on the rivers of America. And, it's just kind of maybe I pick it because, and it gives me kind of that vibe because it reminds me of like where I grew up.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Since I'm, from Louisiana and near New Orleans. But it just kind of, I just feel so good when I'm in that area. And even with the busyness, it does kind of like relax me a little bit. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I agree with you. There's just something about that area that is sort of haunting's not the right word, but you are like in a different world when you're in New Orleans Square in Disneyland. Sure. And even if you're just like sitting on one of like the retention walls or whatever that are around the trees, like it's lovely. You can just grab a little soda. You can get
some beignets
there as well. Yeah, exactly. And just chat. And it's a nice, and you're right. Looking over the rivers of America is really fun. Watching the boats go by, waving at the people on the boats. It's fun.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Lots of good people watching. That's for
sure. Lots. Yeah,
that is for sure. All right. Well, speaking of bodies of water, let's move on to my number 3. I am going to, for your consideration, the Echo Lake area at Hollywood Studios. I feel like is a really lovely place to sit down. And now I'm directionally challenged, but I believe it's anywhere on the north side of the lake. So basically anywhere between where the Dockside Diner is and Gertie's Ice Cream, if that makes sense. So
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's lots of like cute little benches, and frankly, there's trees and shade there as well from the buildings. So it's a nice place to sit down. It's like I said, it's a little partially shaded by the trees and the buildings. The music there is some of my favorite music within the Disney parks. I could just sit there and listen for hours and hours, especially during the holiday season, those old-timey holiday tunes that they play. It's really great. Yeah. There's sometimes some character meet and greets there. Chip and Dale are there sometimes. Max, strangely, is there every once in a while. I don't really know why, from a Goofy movie. Interesting. And I love, there's a little frozen Coke stand that's nearby, too. I'm obsessed with the frozen Cokes there. It's one of my favorite treats now in Disney. And it's just an open, relaxing place to sit down and chat and breathe and watch people and eat some popcorn, and the smells are smelling and the drinks are drinking. And I just love it. I love that little area. I hope it never goes away. I know it feels like it's dying off a little bit. So I hope they find a way to sort of revitalize it, because I think it's really lovely and beautiful. And at night, it's really lovely too.
It really is. I totally agree with you. I hope they do find a way to kind of like revitalize it, but not so much that it doesn't become relaxed. That it ceases to become relaxing, rather.
Don't remove the benches. Don't remove the seating. But, add a little bit more flavor to it. But
be different, but don't change a thing.
There it is. That part.
Yeah. Well, my third one, Patrick, is the Fantasyland Courtyard at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. That is like the most chaotic place.
I was like,
that is
interesting. Okay.
No, that would be the most chaotic place in all of Walt Disney World. My third one, Patrick, is a bar.
Oh, okay.
That also serves food. It is Bar Riva at the Riviera Resort.
Yes, I know it well.
So hopping a little Skyliner over to the Riviera Resort and having like a late lunch. And just kind of sitting, especially when the weather's nice and you can kind of sit, like it's open, and it kind of looks out on the bocce ball lawn.
Sure, yeah.
And then you can also kind of see the water beyond that, and it's just kind of like that's a very relaxing spot to me. Like have a little bit of like a late lunch, a little salad, some wine, some rosé, and just kind of like beat the heat.
Yeah, I like it. The Riviera in general, go check it. If you haven't been there yet and you have the time, go check it out. Just hop on the Skyliner. Yeah. Just being there in general, I feel like is relaxing. Just walking around, it's seeing like the art installations that they have, the beautiful murals that are on the walls. It's so, I don't know quite the word for it, but it's charming, I guess maybe is what I'm going for. And you're right, that area overlooking. And you can kind of see the Skyliner from there, can't you? From Bar Riva?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
I've met many people there and had many too many cocktails there as well.
Oh, yeah, same.
It happens.
It does.
It happens. I love it. Wow, we're just zipping along here.
You can almost get too chilled out.
Yes. It's true. It is easy to stay there for much longer than you think you're there.
It's very true. Yeah, yeah. Because then by the time dinner rolls around, you may as well take the elevator up to Topolino's and have dinner.
May as well. Why ever not? All right. Well, moving right along, we're just zipping through here to my penultimate places to chill. In
love
Disney.
Love that word.
Isn't it a great word? It's
It
lovely.
really is.
We talked about this area already today on the episode, but here we go. I'm saying anywhere really along the boardwalk in Walt Disney World, just outside of Epcot, is such a great place to sit down. Again, you have everything you could ever want here: bakeries, restaurants, coffee, bars, shopping if you want it, entertainment, which is so fun in the evening. It's also just beautiful in the evening, but tons and tons and tons of seating right along the riverside there. Lots of tables. They have umbrellas so you can beat the heat and get out of the sun there. There's the cute little gazebo area that's sort of on the end of it, which I love. It's a great place to get out of the hullabaloo of Epcot for a smidge, right? And just sit down and breathe. I love the sound of like the Surrey bikes, or just even people walking or jogging along the wooden planks on that side of it. It's just such a fun, relaxing sound that I don't know. It reminds me. I don't know what it reminds me of, but I love it. It's just like in my bones when I hear it. It's so great. It's one of those places that's very Disney without being very Disney. If that's
so true. Oh no, you're so right, Patrick. That is.
I don't know
true.
what it is about it. Yeah, it's still got that Disney vibe to it, but it's not. You won't really see anything Disney there, which is
so true.
I don't know how they do it, but it's still magical and lovely. I love it. I could spend all day there for real.
I have done this very thing so many times, like just to get out of the hustle and bustle of Epcot. I've gone over to the boardwalk and just walked around.
Yes.
Just done a loop. Just even like one loop can reset your mind, can reframe your mindset for the rest of the day.
It's so peaceful, right? It's just getting out, because Epcot can be very loud and noisy and chaotic, and then just taking 25 steps away from it and you're kind of there, and it's a nice, like you just said, it's a nice reset area.
And if you find yourself at the door of Abracadabra
what when are you
it opens, I mean, who are you to not go in?
How very dare you not go in?
It's because that's I also had one too many cocktails there too.
I know. But I want to sit outside. I'm not usually a sit outside kind of a person. I like to be indoors in air conditioning. I always want to sit outside there, but sitting outside there is just eliminating half of what's fun at that bar. Like being in the bar itself is where it's at. But yes, get a cocktail there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Patrick, none of our chill spots have really matched up there. So we're at oh my God, I can't do math today.
I was watching you do it in your head, and I was like, get there, you can do it.
We have 8 different chill spots. No, we don't. We have 7 different chill spots.
We've said 7. We're at 8 now.
We're about to have 8.
Yes. I'm leaving all of this in,
by
the way.
and actually we're about to have a lot more, because my penultimate is sort of like a grouping. And it's so funny that the boardwalk was your most recent one, because mine is a little bit related, because you were talking about if you want to get out of Epcot, get out of the hustle and bustle. Well, if you still want to get out of the hustle and bustle of Epcot, but you don't want to leave the park.
Okay, fair.
There are not every World Showcase Pavilion has this, but there are, I call them like little World Showcase nooks and crannies.
Yes.
Anyway, but there are these, like some of the World Showcase Pavilions, I'm specifically thinking about like China, Japan, Italy, the UK, Canada. There are these little away, you kind of have to go in the back of the pavilion, but there are these little away spaces that most people are not going to go all the way to the back of the pavilion.
It's true. Yeah.
But if you do, there are these little quiet, beautiful areas. More often than not, they're like a little garden type area, or there's like a garden kind of theme to it.
Yeah.
And they're kind of out of the way, and you can just kind of like sit, and it's really quiet, and you're out of the way, and you can just take like 15 minutes and just kind of like zone out.
It's true. It's almost as though like the sound melts away a little bit when you get back in there. You know what I mean? Like it just, for some reason, there's like almost an absence of chaos when you're in those little, you're right. It's like a nook and cranny in those little areas. And it's fun. You're right. A lot of people don't take the time to really explore, like even if you go into now that it's reopened again, into like the back alleyways of the Morocco Pavilion, it's just it's nice because there's not a lot of people there. You can take a second to like collect your thoughts, have a glass of whatever, and recoup the day. I like that. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Done. So you chose all of World Showcase as your
the entire back half of Epcot.
What a way to cheat! What a way to cheat by sneaking in.
Well, you know what? I will say this. I will modify my cheating and tell you what I think is the best one.
Oh,
if
great.
you go all the way back in the Italy Pavilion, back around past where they have that pizza pickup window, the Via Napoli pizza window, there's a little alcove that's like has this really pretty Italian tile, yellow, blue, white tile, and there's like it's a very pretty little alcove back there, and it's incredibly quiet. And there's never anybody back there.
It's true. Yeah. If you want to get a little slice of pizza at the pickup window and just have a little snack over there, it's great. It's a perfect spot to zone out. I like it. All right. Well, wow.
We've
just really zoomed through this.
My
I love
gosh.
this. Okay. So my number one currently, anyways, spot going back to Disneyland. I am presenting to you the Jolly Holiday Bakery. Especially in the mornings at Disneyland.
Yeah.
I mean, so everyone loves the Carnation Cafe, and for good reason. That's fair. But for me, I feel like the Jolly Holiday Bakery is where it's at. It's right at the end of Main Street, kind of where Casey's Corner would be in Disney World. There's just so much outdoor seating for people watching and relaxing, having a cute cup of coffee, a little pastry. My favorite time, like I said, to be there is in the morning, just right at park opening. The last time I was there, I think the last couple times I was there, it was sort of like our morning hub, like everyone meet at Jolly Holiday Bakery. We'll get some coffee. Whoever gets there first, order coffee for everybody, and we'll just like plan out the day and just chat and have some coffee and wake up together, watching people go by. It's so fun. It's so relaxing. It's really lovely. And then the whole theme of the Jolly Holiday Bakery with the Mary Poppins is nostalgic. It's beautiful. You're overlooking Main Street, watching where Walt walked. You know, it's just a nice, nostalgic, beautiful spot. And I love it so much. I crave it every time I'm in Disneyland now. Of like, it's not a trip unless I have a morning at the Jolly Holiday Bakery.
That is so good, Patrick.
I know, right?
No, because I love Jolly Holiday, and like it is like first thing in the morning. You're so right. Like sit outside with your little cup of coffee, a little Matterhorn macaroon, maybe, or what have you, and kind of plot out your day. And just like watch everybody else rush.
It's so funny sometimes to watch people. You're like, I gotta get on whatever, and you're just like, bye, having my espresso.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I love that.
Thank you. It makes me want to go back right now. I just had such warm memories there, just chatting with friends and not caring about anything. But you know what? We're gonna have a good day, and if not, we had a good morning here at the Jolly Holiday Bakery.
I mean, that is like that place. I can picture it in my head exactly. Yeah, and like I can picture my vantage point. Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
Well, we've reached the 10th and final because mine does not match up yet again.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So we have 10. We gave people double what we said we were going to do.
10 places. You have no excuse not to relax
0
in Disney.
Yeah. No pressure though.
No.
We're very chill about it.
That's right.
So Patrick.
Yes, JT.
Imagine, if you will.
Picture it.
Magic Kingdom.
I'm there.
It's hot as blazes outside.
As it's wont to be.
Yeah. Or Elsa has just breezed through and it is just absolutely frozen solid.
Frozen. Got you. I'm with you.
You just need to relax. Babies are screaming.
Ugh. Yeah, it's true. They do. Babies do be screaming.
People, you're seeing fights in families. Like it's just it's chaos.
It's usually my fault, but yeah.
And then you look to your right.
Okay.
And you see the Carousel of Progress.
You do. You do indeed.
And you think,
you
think nobody's going to be in here.
You're usually right.
And you go in and you sit down.
And you do.
And just for like 25 minutes or so, you just slowly rotate around the Carousel of Progress. And you progress yourself into an absolute state of calm.
Oh, yeah.
And peace. And maybe even sleep.
I've napped so many times in the Carousel of so many times.
I have never personally napped in the Carousel of Progress because I absolutely love that attraction.
I do too.
But
I do too.
It is such a relaxing thing to me.
Yeah. I agree with you. It is. I not to yuck your yum. I will say one of the last times I was on it, though, however, was with my friend Justin, and we got stuck on it. And the Christmas scene played, I think, 4 times in a row. And we were like, I guess this is where we live now. I don't know if we can't get out of the scene. It was really funny. But that being said, I mean, it was more funny than it was annoying after a while. But yes, I can fully fall asleep in the Carousel of Progress. Sadly, not to say that it's not fun. I do love it. It's one of my favorite places. But yeah, it is a nap. It is a nap zone for sure.
Yeah, it's so relaxing. If you want to nap, that's fine. I won't judge you. Because you got to do what you got to do. But it's so peaceful in there, and it's just let them rotate you around, and
yeah. I'm like a baby in a car seat in the Carousel.
Yes, you are a baby in a car. You're a baby in a car seat, and when one time period is over, it's like no, you're good. No, don't worry. We're gonna take you into the 1940s now. It's fine. You just say you sit, you stay put.
You got in one more time and just stay on. Just stay on. No one's
You are a
care.
baby in a car seat in the Carousel of Progress.
It's true. I love that. I never would have thought. Yeah, go on an attraction if you want to take a rest. But you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. If you're gonna go on an attraction and take a rest, that's the one to go on.
That's the one. Or Living with the Land, I would say.
Or
is equally relaxing for sure.
Yeah. The People Mover. Although I don't know about the People Mover
can get a little scary sometimes.
It can because it does speed up, and exactly, yeah. And I have gotten stuck on the People Mover when you're in the pitch black tunnel, and that's not very pleasant. I don't enjoy that. So
the funny thing about Tomorrowland and Walt Disney World is there's lots of places to nap, but not a lot of things to do there lately.
Yeah, that's very true.
so many places to sleep. In Tomorrowland.
Oh my goodness,
it's true. Great list. Great finale though. Well done to you. Out of nowhere, and really the winner, I feel like, is the Carousel of Progress.
Thank you so much. What do I win? What do I win?
You win. You get to remain on the podcast,
and we get to progress into Quick D.
We do eventually. But
first,
any also rans for you? Any additions that you want to quickly throw out there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, you know what? I'll lump several of my also rans into one category, and I will just say it's more of like a tactic. If get away from the park and get yourself like a reservation at a resort restaurant at like 3 p.m.
Yeah, for sure.
Because most people are not trying to eat at 3 p.m.
True story.
Most of the resorts are going to be incredibly quiet at 3 p.m, and the restaurants are going to be one of the quietest parts of the resort.
Yeah,
and it's just have a leisurely meal and just take your time. You could probably get into some places that you might not be able to even. Even like double great is that you can get into places that you might not be able to get into during regular meal time. So you knock that out too.
Yeah.
But it's so quiet. It can be so quiet and peaceful if you find the right resort restaurant just in the middle of the afternoon.
Agreed. I like that.
Yeah.
I would say for if I'm going overseas now that I'm international, now that she's an international Disney queen,
bon voyage.
That's right. In Disneyland Paris, there is a cute little in the Alice in Wonderland area. There's like a cute little coffee corner that, in my experience, a couple of times that I've been there, there's just nobody there ever, and there's just a cute little. Like a tea party set up that you can just sit down in the chairs and relax and watch people go in and out of the maze, especially in the morning. It's nice and cool, and there's literally no one there when in the morning. So I would say head on over, have a little seat, or in even the afternoon, like when it is busy. Every time I've been there was nobody there. We just sat down and had a cup of coffee and chatted.
I like that.
Yeah,
you could do it. You could morning or afternoon would work. Yeah,
anytime. Find those spaces. Let us know. Let us know, Tweedles one and all, if you agree with our lists, if you have more to add to it. I'm sure you don't disagree because we're practically perfect. But if you have additional places you love to chill within the Disney parks, please let us know. JT, how can they do so?
Well, they can DM us. They can get into our Donna Murphys, slip in there, slide in there, slip and slide in there.
That's right.
Yeah. You can also email us.
You can.
What is our email address, Patrick? Oh my God.
I'm keeping this, by the way. It is info@gays2the.com.
Oh my gosh, it's info@gays2the.com.
Or
you could also leave us a voicemail.
You can leave us a voicemail there. That's the mess. And by the way, if you're going to slip into our DMs, it's at GDTD Podcast on Instagram.
I moved my entire life last weekend.
And you have no idea.
And I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am.
What podcast is this? Who can say? It doesn't matter anymore.
But we don't get enough voicemails from our Tweedles.
We don't. Because they don't know where to go. Much like you. I don't know.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, JT.
Do you prefer your D chilled or quick?
Do I have to pick? I don't know. A cold D, but you know, I guess chill. I guess chilled on ice. I guess I would say. If I have to choose one,
it's a good thing.
Yes.
It's a good thing because it's time for Quick D.
It sure is. It surely is. We do have a fun question. I like this one.
I love fun D.
That's right. Well, Steve Achu has some Quick D Achu for us. Are you ready for the question?
I am.
All right. Steve Achu says, ready, Achu. Each GDTD host has been crowned queen of a Walt Disney World park. Who rules over which park? Well,
this is so good.
This could get real nasty. This could get real.
It could.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, the War of the Roses has nothing on this.
Surely not. We all have our opinions. I feel
Game of Thrones has nothing on. I mean,
that's right. So I guess I would say
we're
the only ones who are here, so we get to decide. Obviously,
the other two have no say in this.
No say in it.
Okay, let's leave us for last.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Because we lead as royal queens with servant leadership. So we'll go last.
Okay.
You don't
how I run things.
Okay, great.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so where does Ryan rule? Where does Ryan rule? You know, I want to give him Epcot, but I actually feel like
I don't want to give him Epcot.
Okay.
Why do you want to give him Epcot? Why?
Fair enough.
I'm willing to listen to an argument.
He loves it so much, and so much that he has tattooed it onto his body, and so it is part.
That's true.
It is part of him. But I do see a Magic Kingdom for Ryan in my reign.
Oh no, I have
my stars.
Else
okay.
for that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, well, you know what?
Sorry, Ryan. I guess I can't give you anything you want.
No, you know what? Ryan has bodily investment in Epcot.
It's true.
It's true. So let us crown Ryan queen of Epcot. Long may she reign.
You've heard it here, everybody. Ryan is queen of Epcot.
Yes, Ryan Tucker, first of her name. Slayer of margaritas.
That's right. That's right. I like it. Okay, well done.
Okay.
Well done to you, Ryan.
Right.
Okay, so I guess we're moving on to Kale.
Kale.
I feel like you're going to tell me no to everything. So where do you want to put Kale?
No. I still want to give you a chance to be right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So go ahead.
Where are we putting Kale? I'm putting Kale in Animal Kingdom.
Oh no, that's good.
Okay, thank you so much.
Because will you tell why do you think Kale at Animal Kingdom?
I think it's his least favorite park.
Oh, So let's put him somewhere where he's going to be miserable.
And he's on a cruise right now, so he's already had his cake.
Okay.
He can't eat it as well, and so I think Animal Kingdom for Kale. I also never really see photos of him in that park, so I feel like he needs to spend some time amongst the people of Animal Kingdom and really get into it.
It's sort of like it's almost like you're giving him like a purgatory kingdom.
Sure. I love Animal Kingdom, but I
no, for him, I mean, I love Animal Kingdom too. I'm talking, but for him,
it's not a punishment so much as a just spend some time with the people of Animal Kingdom.
Okay,
get to know them. You might learn something.
You know what? You're right.
Thank you so much.
You're right. So much. Okay, so Kale is king of Animal Kingdom, ruler of the Na'vi.
Right. Yes, that's right. Kale, plain and tall, ruler of Na'vi, also plain and tall.
And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
He can fly.
Oh my God, I hate that so much.
So do I.
It's true.
Patrick,
true.
I'm ready to enthrone you somewhere.
Oh my stars. Okay, great.
I would like to enthrone you as the king.
Mm-hmm. Careful.
Of
queen.
The magic. I'm sorry, the queen. Excuse me, the queen. The queen.
Okay.
I would like to enthrone you as the queen of the Magic Kingdom.
You know what? I'll accept. It's not where I would choose to go, but I will accept the throne of the Magic Queendom. For sure.
Yes. Your first order of business will be to change it to Magic Queendom, correct?
This is true.
Yes.
Well, my first order of business is to get rid of Autopia. I think that's first and foremost.
Thank you.
I have an agenda for sure in my reign.
You are the people's princess.
That's right. I'm getting rid of the gas guzzling cars. I like We're going green in Magic Kingdom for sure.
An eco queen.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So that puts you in Hollywood Studios, does it not?
Oh, yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah. She's a Hollywood queen. She's a silver screen.
She is a silver screen queen.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I think that fits because of I love movies and old Hollywood. And now I will make some changes.
Okay. Oh my start. Not to Echo Lake. You're going to keep Echo Lake seating at least.
Well, we're going to keep Echo Lake seating, but we're gonna zhuzh up that area a little bit.
Fair.
And we're gonna do some overhauling of the queendom there.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I listen. That would be where I would have chosen to reign, but I trust you.
Do you want to switch thrones
to rule with dignity and to rule with a martini in your hand?
Yes, a flight of them.
A flight of martinis. That's right. It's true. No, I'm happy. I'm happy to rule over the Magic Kingdom. Absolutely. I've always wanted to stay in the castle, so this is my chance.
Well, we could do like the holiday, and for the holidays, we can swap kingdoms.
Nope, you've had your chance, and we're not wife swapping castles.
Okay, fine. Fine. Okay, fine.
I get the castle. Sorry about it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And Kale will be on a zebra somewhere, just living his best life. Living his best life.
All right, talking with giraffes because he's so tall.
That's very, very true. All right, we did it. Thank you, Steve Achu, for your question about Queens Achus in the Kingdom Achus of the Disney World.
Thank you, Achu.
Thank you, Achu.
And that's been Quick D Achu.
Not so quick, but what are we going to do? Yeah.
That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. Ratings and reviews are greatly appreciated and help people find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. You can continue the conversation after this episode on Instagram at GDTD Podcast and submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.
I'm like a baby in a car seat.